Hello, scholars. This is the professor speaking, and I welcome you to Hi, That's Scary, a podcast that utilizes the effects of cannabis to analyze horror cinema. Today is Syllabus Day, which means I get to introduce myself to all of you lovely individuals. My name is Lulz, and I'm here to talk horror. I am a lifelong horror enthusiast. I've been watching horror movies and horror shows since I was a child. Some of my fondest memories are of watching the Twilight Zone marathon at New Year's, or the Stephen King miniseries that always seemed to be on the Sci-Fi Channel, and the bathroom scene in the first Final Destination is seared into my brain forever. I took that love of horror with me into my teen years and eventually into college. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Writing and Contemporary Thought. I went to a very small school with an even smaller program. But there I met my advisor. My advisor, the blessing that she is, was very into horror, just like myself. So when I approached her and asked her, could I write a horror screenplay for my senior thesis? She was ecstatic. In order to write that screenplay, I had to do a lot of research. I poured through tons of other people's theses on various horror movies, read multiple books about horror movie tropes, and spent I don't know how many hours reading screenplays. After this experience, I wouldn't call myself an expert in the field, but I like to think I know quite a bit. The first of two questions I'm going to answer today is, why did I want to make this podcast? Like many during the coronavirus pandemic of 2020, I found myself unemployed and trying to figure out a way to utilize my time. My leisurely activities largely included a decent consumption of cannabis before watching a horror movie. During these viewings, I would often analyze the film without thinking about it. It came naturally. So, I wanted to use my time wisely, but I also wanted to have fun while doing so. What's the best way to do that, scholars? By starting this podcast. The second question I wish to answer is just what exactly you find folks have to look forward to. Now, while I am taking a bit of an academic approach here, I promise you it will not carry the stuffy and overbearing nature of a typical classroom. We want to have fun here. Let's be real, I'm talking about smoking weed and watching a movie. There will be swearing and harsh language. There will be the occasional pun. Also, due to the nature of this podcast, I'm putting out a universal spoiler warning. Every film I watch and analyze for you, every lecture posted, will be spoiler-filled. With that, each lecture will consist of the following: a brief introduction to the film that's being analyzed, a description of the cannabis used while watching the film, and then the actual analysis. So, sit back, relax, maybe light up if you so choose, and enjoy the journey we will be embarking on. That's all I have for you today, but join us in future lectures to discuss your favorite and maybe not so favorite horror movies. Next lecture, we will be discussing Jennifer's Body, a 2009 film that has seen a resurgence in popularity in the past few years. Thank you for your time. Class is dismissed.